Okay, good.
Okay. Today we're going to be presenting our case about Pronto Retail Centers. I'm Laura, this is Alex, Taylor, and Amanda. Okay, so to start off with a little bit of background, the Pronto Retail Center outlets are basically a combination of a convenience store, oil change, and a car wash. And in the northeastern section of the United States, there are 125 stores, and we've broken it down into basically 25% are company owned and 75% are independent owned. Now, the independent owned companies, they are basically in this agreement with the Pronto Retail Centers that they have to buy the designated distributors, oil and gasoline. They also are in an agreement to uphold the uniform and the facility standards. However, they are not required to buy the convenience store items from the designated distributors that Pronto retailers have given them.
So our problem here today is that we have a slow growing growth rate, and you can see here that the company-owned stores are growing at 12%, which isn't that bad, but the independent-owned stores are only growing at 2%, which is a very big problem. We think that there are three main problems because of this is that the independent stores are not as clean and professional looking as the company-owned stores. Also that the independent stores, the larger ones, have been buying a large amount of their convenience products from other distributors other than the ones that are recommended by the company-owned stores. And also we have suffered volume losses from our independent stores being closed for a long period of time. Another problem that we have is John Rickles, who is the Vice President of Sales. He kind of is telling his salespeople that they have to go out there and get this to work, otherwise they're losing their job. So their incentive should be keeping their jobs instead of giving them reasons. He has developed a 5-point plan for his salespeople to be guided by when they go out and try to fix these problems. The first step is they will supervise all company-owned and independent-owned dealers. Also, they will manage objectives for facilities like the appearance and the sales percentage of convenience store merchandise. They're not allowed to let stores close for more than 30 days. That their sales requirements will remain the same, and also that their managers will revise their annual reports to match their salespeople's.
Okay, so then we began our analysis, and the first thing we looked at was the growth strategy, and we saw that Pronto had a horizontal growth strategy, meaning that they were focusing on expanding and opening new stores and investing most of their capital into that, rather than focusing on a vertical strategy and growing the stores that they already had. This was demonstrated when they were allowing these stores to close for 60 days and not having the company take them over. Then we looked at the relationship management within Pronto and saw that there was a lot of communication problems between Pronto, the independent dealers, and also between the sales force, the sales management team, and corporate offices, because they weren't really understanding job descriptions and stuff like that.
The issues that the regional managers have with John Rickles' plan, the first one is that regional managers are upset that the corporate strategy involves only building market share, but they're relying on the sales organization to build and hold the market share. Also, regional managers want the new dealer team to be held accountable for their actions and the fact that they're not getting dealers at a faster rate. And also, regional managers want the sales force to receive, again, more than just a salary wage and put in a commission-based program. The first thing that we were thinking about doing is a need to evaluate the direct-to-consumer sales that are taking place, because they're kind of treating everything as one huge sales product, but it's not. It's 3 actually different product lines. You have convenience store items and car washes and an oil change center. So it really breaks down into products and services. So the selling strategies for convenience store items, it's a response to a mental state. So really, you go into a convenience store, you want a Gatorade, that's your stimulus, the need you purchase and you're satisfied. However, when it comes to services, it's more of a problem-based solutions outlook, especially with servicing your car, you kind of go to the same place every time. I don't really know anybody that gets their oil changed at a different location every time, so you really want to make sure that the sales team is doing more of a question and answer session and making sure the consumers get that direct personal attention more than just with the transactional buy, so that they make sure that you keep coming back to Pronto to have your car serviced.
So for our recommendations, the first thing that we wanted to do was to realign the growth strategy. Instead of focusing on expanding and opening new stores, we want them to focus in on the stores that they already have, building those relationships, and figuring out the best ways to handle the stores that already exist.
We also want to conduct a yearly meeting for all the Pronto stores. We want them to bounce off ideas, who's doing the right thing, what's creating the most sales, and what's not, so people can realize what they can do in their store to improve.
And then we want to create incentives for the sales force and for the independent dealers. If they're telling you that your job is on the line, then salespeople, they're going to be more apt to do unethical things to get the sales. It's going to probably corrupt the company a little bit. Also with the independent dealers, I mean, they're not conforming to what Pronto is wanting, and that is obviously causing a decrease in sales. If we have some type of compensation, hey, you are conforming to all the things that we as a company want, we'll give you a 10% discount next time. We need to do something like that to help get our sales back up.
Going off of what Laura said, we also want to do a general analysis to determine which products in the stores are minimizing or increasing the profits. So for more of like a supply chain aspect, we need to do a data analysis of what we're selling the most of, what we need to keep more in stock, and then if salespeople are, selling our best products, that's great. And then if you're, keeping inventory that's not really flying off the shelves, we need to cut that down and kind of reward them for selling our great items, and then if we need to cut the items, just get them off the shelf so we're not taking up inventory and holding things that aren't really selling.
Any questions?